Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. So, JonTaun has early access now. We played some games. Yay! Good old JonTaun. So, this was a lot of fun. This was, obviously, went Empire. I mean, it's JonTaun, right? That's his jam. So, this is actually the first match we played, and it was a really interesting one. So, as you can see, I have a front line of polearms. They have the best melee defense of any of the front line stuff, but I have these gunnery mobs sort of interspersed between them. So, hoping it sort of blobs up a bit and I can shoot into the sides of anything. These guys can shoot things on the approach. It just, yeah, it's just a fun little formation. And a Burning Skull can't kill literally everything, which would be annoying, frankly. So, also, I've got some gunnery mobs with handguns in the back. A couple of them really helpful for taking out things like heavy cavalry. And also things like greatswords and stuff. You know, they're just very useful. If there's a flying lord or something, you can take pot shots of that too. And also, I have Shade Wraith gunners, which think of these guys like snipers. Right, they're not great shooting into just blobs of infantry and things, but if you shoot at heroes and lords, you can get a lot of work done. So that's kind of what their purpose is. Also, I have a vampire fleet captain of vampires, because I wanted the invocation into heck, you know, the raised dead, that kind of stuff. Definitely helps out. And here I have 3 deck droppers with handguns. Also, I have some hounds in the woods, which we'll pretend aren't there, because I forgot that I had them in this battle. Yeah, I'm dumb. Anyway. Also, here you can see Luther Harkons. I brought Luther Harkon, I gave him everything. He's got all the abilities. So, you know, he can tank ability recharge and power reserves. He disrupts people when he shoots at them. He's also got poison because he's on the Terrorgeist. Load of armor piercing. Just very good combatant. Very good indeed. He's also got Hornswoggle as well for big debuff. Yeah, he's just great. I love Harkon here. Also, the breath attacks are kind of nice too. So, so that's my army. And JonTaun here, you can see he has 2 Empire Knights on either side. So there's quite a lot of Empire Knights. And frankly, you don't need to have the best sort of stats for Empire Knights. The only thing that can really hurt them sort of in melee is going to be, I guess, the polearms can a bit, but they've got to hit first, and they're a bit crap, so, you know, that's not a huge deal. Any of the back line is just going to get eaten up. You know, they're a threat to me, frankly. That heavy armor, it's going to make them a bit of a pain, so I need to gun them down a lot with my armor-piercing stuff, which is going to give the front line a lot of respite, and frankly, the front line can deal with my front line easily. The flagellants are a great pick here, and ideally, you want to gun them down as quickly as possible. But I can't really use these guys to gun them down at all, which would be a great way, sort of opening volley, just to take out a load of these flagellants, because I have to deal with these guys. So also he has the Sunmaker, he decided to give that a go, but frankly, the loose formations of this army is very difficult to actually get value. That's the thing. The Sunmaker, it seems to work well against sort of high elves and wood elves, where, you know, the Eternal Guard are all blobbed up together, so one rocket lands amongst them, and so many of them take damage. Here, though, yeah, it just doesn't really get good hits on them. The splash damage doesn't take effect, and the splash damage is really big. It's a big deal, so you want the splash damage. You know, the direct hit, sure, you can hit the odd one directly, but then none of its neighbours are going to get hurt all that much, and there's not many neighbours to be hurt, you know, next to each guy, because they're so spread out. So that makes it a bit, yeah, a bit iffy. Worth experimenting with, though. The silver bullets, though, brilliant. Having something that can stalk and shoot and do a lot of damage, really useful. And also, the main sort of bulk of his army here, he has 2 witch hunters and Balthazar Gelt. So he's going with the accusation and final transmutation bombing that you often see, which is great for killing heroes usually, and lords. But yeah, I've got Luther Harkon. If we have a look at him, he has 33% magic resist, which is pretty good. So it's going to be difficult. He's going to shrug off a lot of that damage, and of course he can heal, and he's going to be very good at hunting down something like Balthazar Gelt. So that makes it tough. So, speeding things up. So you can see he is trying to deal with the Shade Wraith Gunners. And he's getting some damage in there. And unfortunately the Shade Wraith Gunners aren't getting very good hits on the Witch Hunter. If they were on a horse, I'd be hitting like every single shot and they'd be super dead already, frankly. It's crazy. You give them like a slightly larger target and they will wreck everything. But against Witch Hunters seem to be able to be, you know, small enough to avoid it. So that's very scary. So anyway, I'm going to start shooting into the cavalry, knowing that I can hit them a few times, it's going to do some damage. Harkon charged in to try and delay these guys, try and terrify them away, get some armor-piercing damage in there. So it's definitely a big help. Still shooting at them as they run, and I've had my deck droppers shooting into them too. But his silver bullets are getting close, his cavalry are moving around the side, which is definitely a pain. But Shade Wraith Gunners are getting some work in, you know, only 4 kills, which isn't great, but they get some good damage, so I'm happy enough with that. So now, this is a mistake. I send my deck droppers too close to Harkon, and nope, that's an accusation. And now the final transmutation upgraded. So accusation also does magic damage, so he's shrugging off all of that. But this final transmutation is doing so much damage to my deck droppers. I'm amazed how much damage it did to them, actually. It's kind of ludicrous. They are a bit squishy. They're just hard to hit. So anyway, they're moving back, but I've lost a lot of them because of that spell. Harkon, though, despite being hit by 2 accusations and upgraded final transmutation, he's on half health. And Gelt is very, 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 very hurt. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Unfortunately, the missile damage from these two are going to hurt quite a lot. But they're magic missiles as well. It's magic damage. So you can cut that by 1/3 shooting at Harkon. So that, again, is great that I got Harkon. His, you know, his sort of hero and goon squad. It's not great for dealing with Harkon. But unfortunately, his front line is absolutely mincing mine. It's actually ludicrous. He's getting through here with 0 hassle. So here I do have some handguns trying to deal with these Empire Knights. I'm summoning more units with my Fleet Captain. Fleet Captain is pretty good in melee. I mean, 60 melee attack is pretty great. Here, my last of my Shade Wraith gunners, there's still a few. They're shooting into the cavalry as well to try and help, but now, yeah, the tide has come in. This is bad. This is bad for me. Everything is getting killed. And unfortunately, yeah, my gunnery mobs kind of got caught up in melee pretty quickly and weren't able to really shoot much. I should have had them on guard mode so they could keep shooting. Anyway, now I really need to take out these silver bullets because they have just the best DPS, frankly. Still magic damage, though, so again, good for Harkon. But, you know, it's not looking great. It's not looking great. There's a lot of infantry here. Luckily, though, the Fleet Captain is pretty good in melee. He'll do alright in here for a while, especially with his healing, and he can keep summoning more, you know, deckhand mobs. It's pretty useful. So here you can see I'm getting some great damage into the silver bullets, but ideally I want to be shooting at some of these guys, but I just need to get rid of them. They just have the best DPS out of that backline stuff, so I need them gone. So now they have been terrified. I'm going to need to chase down Gelt at some point. I hornswoggled him at one point, but then changed my mind and realised actually I need to come over here and support against these Empire Knights, because Harkon has great armour piercing, so I need him to come in here and just shred at these guys. So he's coming in, trying to help. Use all hands ahoy to add to leadership, to try and keep these guys in the fight a bit, and hopefully I can do some good damage. It won't be long before these guys can get terrified away. But, these witch hunts still being a pain. So to stop them from shooting, although a lot of it's gated, I still don't want them shooting, so I'm going to throw pirates at them. So they're bogged down by pirates now. They'll obviously win in combat, but it's stopping them from firing, and that's all I want. So silver bullets are back again, which is really frustrating. Really, I should just send one of these deck droppers into melee against them. I think that might be worthwhile, actually. What's their melee defense? 25, melee attack. Not great on these guys. Yeah, 26, so not, yeah. I don't know. They're a pain. So, anyway. Here I've used, Invocation to Heck, which, apparently oh, nope, that's the final transmutation. Yeah, okay, it's final transmutation, that's the AoE. I just used a single invocation on him. So, anyway. So, getting more shots into silver bullets. These guys are not accurate, though. They're not accurate. Against a tiny amount of models like that, it's very hard to hit. But Gelt is totally dead, so that's awesome. Bye, Gelt. So now I need to do something with Harkon. He needs to do something useful. And I think I was going to do a breath attack. I don't know why he's loitering there so much. Okay, apparently not. So summon some more zombies to bog this stuff down. It gives my my vampire fleet captain a lot longer to kill this stuff, which is good. So here I use Taunt on the Witch Hunter, and now I'm going to dive in to try and kill him. So I'm not sure I even hit him then, but I sent him flying, and that definitely helped. So that's something. So now I've got my handgunners trying to shoot at the Witch Hunter, the other one to try and deal with him, but and I use Power Siphon to stop his ability to recharge, because yeah, 15 seconds of not being accusations, that might be what does it for me, frankly. So now I've used Hornswoggle, I'm still chasing. Another Invocation to Heck, that's probably the last one I'm going to get, and he's near his healing cap anyway. But I'm holding on with Harkon. I'm holding on. And my fleet captain is still fighting in here. He's still having a wonderful time. 37 kills, not too bad. He is definitely helping. Here, I'm trying to run my gunnery mob away, but they are so slow. The swordsmen are going to get hold of them, which really sucks for me. And once again, dive down, try and hit the Witch Hunter. And again, somehow miss him, which is crazy. With the charge bonus of 40, I mean, that's more than that guy's melee attack anyway. I should be hitting these guys more. So JonTaun is getting very lucky indeed with his Witch Hunters. So, bit of a nuisance for me. So here I actually use Van Hel's Dance Macabre because I could afford it. So that actually puts their melee attack up to 36, which is enough to get some damage in, because Flagellants don't have the best melee defense at 10. So potentially I could get some kills. What would have been nice is if I'd overcast that in the front line at the start of the battle. I think that would have been really useful, because with that terrible melee defense, it meant that my guys could have got more hits in, and that would have been really good. That would have been really good for me. So here, Harkon, another accusation on him, which is an absolute pain. He's going to come in and try and fight some more. These guys have been wrapped up. The artillery crew now charging in to try and help. But frankly, you know, the artillery crew, What are their stats? 13 and 10 when you compare that to zombies. Well, no, they're all dead. Oh, here we go. 8 and 7. So the artillery crew was actually better in combat than my backline is. So here, I'm coming for the witch hunters again, but Harkon is super injured. I was firing at him. Now I'm going to dive down. Hopefully this will be enough to finish him. He's on 1 health, which means he's dead. It always goes to 1 health, triggers the animation, and then they die, in case you were wondering. And now I'm going for the next one. And here, I've run out of ammunition with the deck droppers, so they're just going to try and stop these Empire Knights from charging into Harkon. He only has 500 health left. That is not good. Use another power siphon, try and stop the Witch Hunter from using anything. And I'm going to try and hit him again. So here you can see Harkon on 300 health. 500 for the Witch Hunter. I've used Hornswoggle on him as well to try and stop him. And going to come in for one more hit. Come on! There we go. I managed to get him. I managed to finally kill those Witch Hunters. Which makes me think I just should have been more aggressive trying to deal with the Witch Hunters earlier, frankly. And also, I've still got those hounds over there. Yeah, I've still got these two, which I totally forgot. Yeah, the scurvy dogs. Yeah, they would have been great, just charging into the back of the flagellants. They could have torn up thousands of them during that frontline fight. They could have actually gotten to the artillery, because, well, the reason I had them in reserve there was waiting for his cavalry to come in, and then I could sneak in and get the cannon, and then run to the back line. You know, I could have got the silver bullets with them easily. Yeah, it was really dumb. This was really stupid. But, whoops. Anyway, Fleet Captain, he's still going, so that's good fun. And I'm not sure if he has any magic left, necessarily. He does have Taunt as well, which is kind of nice. I like that he has Taunt, because it means you can really double things up. So if you have a, you know, a Vampire Fleet Captain, you can use Taunt, and then your Lord will have Hornswoggle, so suddenly you kind of get more value out of it. So here, I do actually use a Van Hels's Dance Macabre, because once again, I could afford it. That's about it. Now, Van Hels's Dance Macabre, actually, is kind of good for Vampire Coast, I think. We might see it a lot more. If you have a cheap front line, just overcasting that on the front line, I mean, it's going to, like, you know, give them twice or 3 times the amount of melee attack they otherwise would. Which is pretty huge, you know? You get a lot more value from a spell like that. It's just a flat buff on a unit that's shite. So, giving that to a front line of zombies, they could actually get some work done. They could actually be very surprising. Of course, if you overcast it, it's an AoE, so you could hit a few units with that. So, that's what I wanted to try out, but I just didn't really do that. This wasn't the most coordinated effort by me. But, it's all good. I mean, you know, just the fact that scurvy dogs weren't in the fight kind of shows it wasn't the most coordinated effort. So here I'm going to try and get the swordsman. Unfortunately, yeah, my fleet captain just couldn't hold out in here any longer, which is a real pity. So there he goes. Honestly, I think if I put him on the Promethean, I mean, it would have cost 300, so I would have had 1 less gunnery mob for the cost of that Promethean. But he would have been armoured. He would have been, you know, had 100 armour, would have been a large target, which, yeah, sure, you know, the Spearmen do have the anti-large, but I think it would have been a lot more survivable, and he might have actually carried that for me. He might have actually done it. But obviously the main factor is my scurvy dogs did nothing until the very end. That's definitely what did it. So, bit of a pity, but what can you do? So, there the last of them go. So, great match by JonTaun there. I like his build, and weirdly I think I had the perfect Lord for the build that he brought. I mean, to be fair, I killed a Lord and 2 heroes with Luther Harkon. So he really paid for himself. But unfortunately, the rest of my army just got a bit screwed over. That's the thing. You really want someone like Harkon to be supporting the rest of the line, not just spending the entire match dueling all the lords and heroes. It is nice that he can do that, but it was a shame. He just couldn't get in there with enough support. I mean, he did chase off some of the Empire Knights occasionally, but it would have been nice if you get some more work done. You know, jump into some of the flagellants just to kill, you know, 20 of them and then fly off again. So yeah, should have been a bit more aggressive with him, I think. Mainly just to kill these guys. Should have been more aggressive, trying to get rid of his lords and heroes. And, yeah, I could have killed him a lot quicker, I think. I was trying to be cautious, which I don't think I should have been. You know, I had Invocation of Heck. There was nothing truly frightening that could have penned me in. Well, penned Harkon in. You know, the knights, they would have got terrified and beaten up if they'd tried to get in, I think. And they were the only things that could really screen for his lords and heroes. You know, he didn't have any sort of demigryph knights with halberds, for instance. So, yeah. I'm not sure I used Harkon to the best of his ability there. But, even then, the fact that he managed to kill all the lords and heroes, he was perfectly suited to countering, you know, that goon squad. So it was pretty cool to see. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.